In Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things, Adam Grant explores the idea that greatness is not solely a result of innate talent, but can be nurtured through opportunity, motivation, and the development of character skills. The story of the Raging Rooks, a team of underprivileged middle school chess players from Harlem, serves as a powerful example of this premise. Coached by Maurice Ashley, the team overcame remarkable odds to win the National Junior High Chess Championships, demonstrating the potential in each person to achieve great things irrespective of initial ability or social standing. Adam Grant, an organizational psychologist, challenges the notion that potential can be assessed based on initial aptitudes, positing instead that we must focus on the distance traveled and the learning conditions provided. He argues that early advantages in cognitive skills can dissipate over time, emphasizing the importance of character skills, such as being proactive, disciplined, and determined, which tend to persist and have a stronger impact on long-term success. The book is structured into 3 sections: exploring character skills, creating structures to sustain motivation, and building systems to expand opportunity. Grant suggests that character skills, far from being innate, can be taught and learned, with proper scaffolding playing a critical role in this development. By providing temporary support that enables independent learning, students can direct their own growth. Grant asserts that while many may not have access to ideal mentors, everyone has the capability to surpass supposed limits, as demonstrated by his own life experiences and the individuals he encountered in his research. The book aims to serve as a source of scaffolding for the reader, offering guidance on nurturing potential and inviting reflection on ways to overcome obstacles and facilitate growth, not just professionally, but also personally. Chapter 1 of the book, titled Creatures of Discomfort, Embracing the Unbearable Awkwardness of Learning, explores the journeys of polyglots Sarah Maria Hasbun and Benny Lewis, who overcame initial language learning struggles to master multiple languages. Initially convinced they lacked the aptitude for learning new languages, they transformed their approaches by getting comfortable with discomfort. Sarah Maria embraced the challenge by introducing herself in the local languages during her travels, while Benny started speaking Spanish only after actively engaging with the language in Spain. The chapter delves into the broader implications of their experiences for learning. It debunks the popular notion of learning styles, suggesting that while individuals might have preferences, these don't necessarily lead to the most effective learning. Embracing discomfort, seeking it out, and even amplifying it are presented as crucial strategies for growth. This involves moving beyond familiar methods, practicing skills before feeling ready, and making more mistakes than attempts. Real-life examples, like Steve Martin's journey in comedy and the intense training methods for pilots, illustrate the benefits of stepping out of one's comfort zone. The chapter emphasizes that making mistakes and facing awkwardness head-on are not just part of learning, but essential to mastering new skills. The stories of Sarah Maria and Benny, along with scientific evidence, encourage readers to adopt a mindset of learning through discomfort, suggesting that it's never too late to learn and grow. In Chapter 2, titled Human Sponges, Building the Capacity to Absorb and Adapt of the provided book, the author explores the idea that being intellectually gifted or strong does not ensure survival as much as the ability to adapt does. This concept is illustrated through the example of sea sponges, which have survived mass extinction events due to their remarkable ability to filter and adapt. Drawing parallels between sponges and humans, the text underscores that growth comes not from how hard one works, but how well one learns, emphasizing the importance of absorbing high-quality information and adapting to change. The chapter narrates the story of Melody Hobson, who rose from a challenging upbringing to become a successful businesswoman and influential figure, highlighting that her achievements were not solely due to hard work, but also her ability to learn and adapt. It discusses the impact of the Protestant Reformation on literacy and economic growth, suggesting that being proactive and growth-oriented contributes more to success than simply being hardworking. The author also shares personal experiences and feedback mechanisms to convey that becoming a better learner involves being both reactive and growth-oriented, akin to being a sponge. Additionally, the story of Kenyan javelin thrower Julius Yego illustrates how proactive learning and adapting can lead to extraordinary achievements despite a lack of traditional resources or coaching. Advice is argued to be more effective than feedback for improvement and growth. The chapter concludes by emphasizing how being open to learning, like a sponge, is not only a skill for personal growth, but can also have wider benefits for society, much like sea sponges have had on the evolution of complex life on Earth. In Chapter 3 of The Imperfectionists, Finding the Sweet Spot Between Flawed and Flawless, the author explores the concept of imperfection through the story of Tadao Ando, a self-taught Japanese architect. Born into poverty, Ando learned skills in a carpentry shop and educated himself about architecture by copying sketches until he could develop his distinctive minimalist style, the master of light and concrete. His architecture is renowned for withstanding the Kobe earthquake without sustaining much visible damage, proof of functionality over aesthetics. The author reflects on the idea that while we often equate greatness with perfection, mastery actually involves knowing which flaws are acceptable. Citing examples from various fields, including his own mother's emphasis on perfect grades, the author discusses how perfectionism can be a detrimental pursuit. It can lead to an obsession with details, a fear of failure that avoids challenging tasks, and self-criticism that hinders learning from mistakes. The perfectionist mindset can be misleading because the key to advancing is not a flawless output, but the capacity to embrace imperfection constructively. Perfectionism is contrasted with setting precise and challenging goals, which is more productive than aspiring to do your best, which is too vague and can impair performance. The author uses his own experience as a diver to illustrate this point, showing how concrete goals led to better outcomes than a pursuit of perfection ever would. The chapter concludes by turning to the story of Twyla Tharp, a choreographer who had to quickly adapt a troubled dance musical into a Tony Award-winning show by recognizing which flaws were critical to address. An example of wabi-sabi, a Japanese concept that appreciates the beauty in imperfection. The ability to discern critical imperfections is crucial in the journey from novice to expert, and accepting the right imperfections helps to unlock potential. The author suggests that rather than seeking perfection, one should aim for minimum lovable standards in work and life, seeking feedback and employing a selective focus on excellence over flawlessness. Embracing this mindset helps avoid the traps of perfectionism, leading to growth, resilience, and the potential to produce work that may not be perfect, but is nonetheless outstanding and true to one's own ambition. In Chapter 4, Transforming the Daily Grind, Infusing Passion into Practice, Evelyn Glennie's journey from being rejected by the Royal Academy of Music to becoming the world's first full-time deaf percussion soloist demonstrates the power of passion in practice. Adam Grant explores how deliberate play, rather than tedious and monotonous practice, can unlock potential and bring joy to the process of skill development. Studies show that deliberate practice, which involves structured repetition with clear goals and immediate feedback, is crucial in mastering skills. However, excessive deliberate practice may lead to burnout and bore-out. Grant discusses harmonious passion, which emphasizes enjoying the process, not just focusing on outcomes, enabling individuals to find flow and enrich their lives. Deliberate play, with its structure aimed at skill improvement while being enjoyable, has proven effective in various fields, including music, healthcare, sales, and sports. It introduces novelty and variety, making training engaging and enhancing performance. Brandon Payne's innovative basketball training with Steph Curry, emphasizing fun and competition against oneself, is highlighted as an effective, deliberate play strategy. This method of practice, which involves breaking down tasks into enjoyable challenges, supports growth and prevents burnout. The importance of taking breaks is also discussed. Rest allows individuals to sustain passion, generate new ideas, and deepen learning. Evelyn Glennie's story culminates with her advocating that practice should be meaningful, enjoyable, and lead to a discernible improvement. The chapter concludes by suggesting that to realize one's hidden potential, practice should be harmonious with one's passion and should include play and breaks to prevent fatigue and foster continuous development. Chapter 5, Getting Unstuck, The Roundabout Path to Forward Progress delves into the life and career of R.A. Dickey, highlighting his journey from a promising young baseball player to struggling in the major leagues and finally achieving success. Initially seen as a baseball prodigy, Dickey's career was nearly derailed when it was discovered that he was missing a critical ligament in his elbow. This led to years in the minor leagues, battling personal and professional adversity. He faced repeated setbacks and criticisms, doubting his future in baseball. Dickey's breakthrough came when he embraced the knuckleball, a pitch notorious for its unpredictability and difficulty to master. This shift in focus required him to unlearn much of what he knew and adopt a completely different approach to pitching. It was a long and arduous process filled with trial and error, and he had to seek guidance from multiple sources, learning from their experiences and adapting their advice to his unique situation. The chapter also discusses the concept of getting stuck and the necessity of sometimes taking a step back to move forward. It points out that improvement is not always linear, and that reaching a plateau can be an opportunity for growth rather than a sign of failure. The story illustrates how reaching out for help, trying new strategies, and being willing to fail are crucial for overcoming stagnation. Dickey's story is used to explore broader themes about learning, improvement, and the nonlinear nature of progress. It emphasizes that sometimes, to overcome obstacles and continue growing, one must be willing to take unconventional paths, reassess strategies, and be open to learning from a variety of sources. The chapter encourages embracing the discomfort of the unknown and viewing setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to find new, more effective paths forward. Chapter 6, Defying Gravity, The Art of Flying by Our Bootstraps, explores the concept of overcoming immense challenges through unity and self-belief. It begins with an anecdote about the Golden 13, the first black men to enter officer training in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Despite facing institutional racism and skepticism about their capabilities, these men excelled in their training, achieving record-high marks through rigorous study and mutual support. The chapter delves into the psychology behind overcoming obstacles, emphasizing the importance of viewing barriers as challenges to conquer rather than threats to avoid. It introduces the concept of bootstrapping, or using one's resources to overcome difficulties. The author argues that while bootstrapping is often seen as an individual effort, it's the collaborative aspect that truly empowers individuals to overcome obstacles. The narrative returns to the Golden 13, highlighting how they used collective teaching and learning to excel in their training. They didn't just rely on individual strengths, but pooled their knowledge, ensuring everyone understood each topic. This cooperative approach not only helped them pass their exams, but also built a stronger sense of community and resilience among them. The chapter also discusses the tutor effect, where teaching others can enhance one's own understanding, and the coach effect, where guiding others boosts one's own confidence. These concepts are illustrated through various examples, including the author's personal experiences and the story of Allison Levine, who overcame her own limitations and the doubts of others to climb Mount Everest. Ultimately, the chapter underscores the power of collective effort, mentorship, and the underdog effect in overcoming challenges. It suggests that while pulling oneself up by the bootstraps is an admirable quality, it's the combined strength of many boots linked together that truly defies gravity and achieves the extraordinary. Chapter 7 of the book discusses the transformation of Finland's education system, which was once considered mediocre, but skyrocketed to the top of international rankings within a few decades. The chapter begins by highlighting the OECD's Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, a test comparing 15-year-olds' skills worldwide. Surprisingly, Finland, not traditionally known for educational excellence, outperformed other nations consistently in early 2000s PISA tests. The Finnish education system's success is attributed to a culture that believes in every student's potential. Unlike systems that prioritize innate ability and early brilliance, Finland invests in all students, resulting in smaller achievement gaps and a high rate of top performers. The Finnish approach involves personalized learning plans, early interventions, and a strong emphasis on teacher autonomy and professional development. Looping, where teachers stay with the same students for multiple years, is highlighted as a beneficial practice adopted in Finland, fostering deeper teacher-student relationships and better understanding of individual needs. The chapter also discusses the importance of reading and the innovative ways Finnish schools encourage it, like library recess and allowing students to choose what they read. Despite these successes, Finland faced challenges with declining scores and student motivation in later PISA assessments. The book discusses possible reasons, including complacency and the global financial crisis. Nevertheless, Finland continued to innovate, experimenting with programs like Me and My City, which engages students in running a miniature city to learn economic principles. In conclusion, the chapter emphasizes that Finland's education system is not just about academic excellence, but also student well-being. Finnish students achieve high scores with less homework and stress, suggesting that a balance between performance and well-being is possible. The Finnish example demonstrates that an education system focusing on equal opportunity and fostering a love of learning can lead to remarkable results. Chapter 8 of the book, Mining for Gold, Unearthing Collective Intelligence in Teams, explores the dramatic rescue of 33 miners trapped 2,300 feet underground in a Chilean mine in 2010. This remarkable event is used as a backdrop to examine the power of collective intelligence and teamwork in overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. The miners were given less than a 1% chance of survival, yet 69 days later, they were all safely reunited with their families, thanks to a monumental and miraculous rescue effort. The chapter delves into the initial chaos of the rescue operation, highlighting how a multitude of skilled individuals failed to form a cohesive team capable of collective intelligence. This changed when André Sugaret was appointed to lead the mission. Sugaret, known for his prosocial skills and ability to bring out the best in teams, listened to various experts and devised a strategy that involved multiple drilling plans simultaneously. This approach not only expedited the rescue, but also opened avenues for innovative solutions. One such innovation came from a young engineer, Igor Proestakis, who proposed using a cluster hammer to rapidly expand an existing hole, a plan that significantly reduced the rescue time. Igor's ability to pitch his idea and have it considered seriously is attributed to a lattice system within the rescue operation, which allowed for multiple pathways of communication and idea sharing, as opposed to the traditional hierarchical model. The chapter argues that the success of teams doesn't merely lie in assembling the most knowledgeable individuals, but in creating environments that foster collective intelligence. This involves leadership practices, team processes, and systems that harness the capabilities and contributions of all members. The best teams aren't those with the best individual thinkers, but those that can unearth and use the best thinking from everyone. The chapter concludes by emphasizing the importance of listening, inclusivity, and a lattice system of idea sharing as key to unlocking the hidden potential in groups and achieving extraordinary results. Chapter 9, Diamonds in the Rough, Discovering Uncut Gems in Job Interviews and College Admissions, focuses on recognizing and harnessing potential often overlooked due to conventional selection processes. It begins with the inspiring story of Jose Hernandez, a child of migrant farm workers who dreamed of becoming an astronaut. Despite facing numerous rejections from NASA and dealing with the challenges of his background, he persevered. His story illustrates the central theme of the chapter. Traditional selection methods often fail to identify true potential. The chapter critiques how institutions like colleges and employers often rely on flawed metrics such as past achievements, experience, or academic performance, without considering the context or trajectory of an individual's journey. It argues that these systems favor those who have already excelled and miss out on those who possess the potential to achieve greatness if given the opportunity. The author suggests that we need to consider the adversities and challenges individuals have overcome and how far they've climbed, rather than just their current standing. To address these issues, the chapter proposes alternative approaches to identifying potential. For instance, assessing the grade point trajectory to appreciate improvement over time, and incorporating real-time work samples in interviews to gauge current ability. It also discusses innovative interviewing techniques that allow candidates to demonstrate their skills and potential in a supportive environment, as seen in Call Yakul, a call center that employs people with disabilities. The chapter concludes by revisiting Jose's story, who, after years of persistence and continuous self-improvement, finally achieves his dream of becoming an astronaut. His journey exemplifies the untapped potential that lies within individuals who have faced and overcome significant challenges. The narrative urges institutions to refine their selection processes to recognize and nurture these diamonds in the rough, ensuring they don't miss out on extraordinary talents simply because they don't fit the traditional mold. In the epilogue, Going the Distance of his book on potential, the author reflects on the significance of dreams and aspirations in achieving one's potential. Initially skeptical about the dream big rhetoric, he discovers compelling evidence suggesting that people with grander dreams tend to achieve more in life. This realization is personal. He recounts how a dream led him to apply to Harvard despite feeling unqualified and the financial challenges it posed. His experiences at Harvard, including failing a writing test and overcoming imposter syndrome, highlight the importance of character skills, growth mindset, and resilience. He learns that success isn't about innate abilities, but the determination to learn and improve. This lesson is underscored by the guidance and insights from mentors and the realization that often imposter syndrome masks unrecognized potential. The author's journey from doubting his abilities to becoming a successful writer and psychologist illustrates the transformative power of embracing challenges and learning from them. He emphasizes that success is more about living your values and continually striving to unleash your hidden potential than about achieving specific goals or gaining external recognition. Ultimately, the epilogue is a call to acknowledge and pursue our dreams as they are pivotal in shaping our lives and unlocking our true potential.